Say one nice thing about Ja Rule.
Oh, he's alive.
The feud between 50 Cent and Ja Rule just hit a new level, with social media jabs turning into full-blown revelations. From sharp accusations to long-standing grudges, this latest clash exposes sides of the rivalry fans rarely see, and the story behind it is bigger than you think. What sparked the latest exchange? The latest chapter in the decades-long feud between 50 Cent and Ja Rule reignited in late 2025, rooted in a social media exchange that quickly captured public attention. On X, Ja Rule, whose real name is Jeffrey Atkins, publicly accused 50 Cent of being a snitch and repeatedly called him a rat, framing his criticism within the context of their long-standing animosity following the release of 50 Cent's Netflix documentary, Sean Combs: The Reckoning, which examines the legal troubles of Sean Diddy Combs. Ja Rule's posts challenged 50 Cent's motives, asserting that his involvement with the series reflected poorly on his character and suggesting that 50 Cent's visibility around the docuseries release was an opportunity to highlight perceived hypocrisy.
Right.
You know, one story is that 50 robbed Ja Rule's man for a watch or a chain or something like that.
No, Ja Rule got robbed by Troy from Baisley, this nigga from the project, and 50 was cool with him, and that's how it kind of like all started.
Okay.
This online call-out wasn't entirely unexpected given their history, but it gained particular traction because it came during a moment when 50 Cent's public profile was high, not just for music or social media antics, but for a mainstream streaming project. Ja Rule did not specify exactly what behavior he was labeling as snitching, but the tone and choice of words were unmistakable, tapping into a long-standing debate among fans and cultural commentators about authenticity, reputation, and how artists engage with legal history and media narratives. In response, 50 Cent took a characteristic approach. Rather than simply ignoring Ja Rule's comments, he shared and amplified clips and taunts aimed at discrediting Ja's remarks, leveraging his own social platforms to frame the narrative differently and remind audiences of past disputes. This pattern of online one-upmanship has been a hallmark of their feud for years, where each public space, whether Instagram, X, or interviews, becomes a stage for counter-narratives. Ultimately, what started as a single social post erupted into broader public debate, reminding audiences that even decades after their initial disputes, Ja Rule and 50 Cent's rivalry still commands attention, partly because it reflects larger questions about legacy, credibility.
Much like the president, you're known for having beefs with people, okay?
Beef is not always a bad thing.
And how hip-hop icons handle disagreement in the digital age. 50 Cent's response, exposés and taunts. A defining element of this renewed clash has been 50 Cent's response to Ja Rule's provocation. Whereas Ja Rule's call-outs leaned on charged language and accusations, 50 Cent, aka Curtis Jackson, deployed a more layered approach, sharing clips, posting on social media, and amplifying moments that he believes undermine Ja Rule's credibility. One notable tactic 50 Cent has used historically, and echoed in this latest era of their feud, is highlighting perceived inconsistencies or lowlights in Ja Rule's commentary and career. In previous years, he's publicly boasted about prank-style actions, such as buying front-row tickets to one of Ja Rule's shows to leave them empty, a stunt that became part of their long-running narrative. Ja Rule has denied aspects of these stories, calling the claims lies, but 50 Cent's willingness to repost them keeps them circulating in public discourse. In the context of the 2025 exchange, 50 Cent's responses leaned into reposting Ja Rule's own remarks, often with sardonic captions or editorial framing that suggested Ja's comments were reactionary or misplaced. This is consistent with 50's broader social media strategy, turning an opponent's words back on them, reframing them as evidence of insecurity or weakness. In past flare-ups, he has also shared behind-the-scenes footage, memes, and historical references that serve to contextualize or undercut Ja Rule's statements, effectively shaping the narrative on his own terms. This kind of engagement goes beyond simple rebuttal. It serves as a form of reputation management and narrative control, where 50 Cent uses rivalry as a platform to assert his own brand identity and maintain his relevance in hip-hop culture. For fans and observers, the exchange becomes not just about what was said, but how it was said, and who can outmaneuver whom in the arena of social media and public perception. The roots of a legendary beef. To understand the significance of this latest clash, it helps to look back at the origins of the 50 Cent versus Ja Rule feud, one of the most enduring rivalries in hip-hop history. According to reporting and historical accounts, their conflict stretches back to the early 2000s, when both artists were rising in prominence from Queens, New York, and stylistic as well as personal tensions began to surface.
Rolled up on me. He's like, yo, Jewel, what up? You know, whatever. They called me Left back then. He's like, yo, Left, what up? Let me holler at you for a minute. I'm like, yo, Troy, what up, my nigga? Jumps out, car, we go, walk up the block, we kicking it. He pulls out the burner on me.
A turning point came with 50 Cent's 2002 breakout single, Wanksta, a track that critics and fans saw as a direct hit on Ja Rule's style and credibility. The song not only boosted 50 Cent's profile, but also cast Ja Rule in a less favorable light, contributing to a narrative battle that would shape both artists' careers. Their beef wasn't confined to music either. Reports detail physical altercations and tense encounters in the early 2000s, including a recording studio confrontation where 50 Cent was reportedly stabbed during an altercation involving Ja Rule's crew. These incidents fed into a story that was as much about street credibility as it was about artistic rivalry. Over time, diss tracks, social media exchanges, and public jabs became the norm between them. In 2018, 50 Cent even purchased dozens of tickets to a Ja Rule concert with the intention of leaving key seats empty, a prank that once again turned beef into spectacle. Ja Rule responded with humor and derision, keeping the feud in public view. Despite moments of apparent truce, including a period where they claimed to be cool, the rivalry never fully dissipated. Instead, it evolved with the times, shifting from mixtape diss tracks to digital barbs on social media platforms such as Instagram and X. The 2025 exchange over snitching claims and documentary context is simply the latest iteration of a feud deeply woven into both artists' public personas. Ja Rule's provocations and public criticism. In late 2025, Ja Rule escalated his criticism of 50 Cent with sharp social media posts that went beyond general insults to question 50's character, notably labeling him a snitch. In a series of posts on X, Ja Rule wrote statements such as, "You rat, always have been, always will be a rat," and accused 50 Cent of frequently telling on somebody, framing his comments within a context of long-standing animosity and disagreement over 50's involvement in the Sean Combs' The Reckoning documentary.
Standing outside the hotel, and he had like this little Louisville slugger in his hand, a short Louisville slugger. And he was standing there with a lot of Murder Inc. people and artists and his manager, and so.
And you were cool with all the Murder Inc. guys?
Yeah, I was cool with everybody. So I was like.
These remarks didn't arise in a vacuum. They followed 50 Cent's heightened visibility due to his connection with Sean Combs' The Reckoning, a Netflix documentary series about Diddy's legal challenges. Ja Rule's criticism intertwined personal beef with commentary on 50's public activities, suggesting that 50 Cent's engagement with the docu-series and his broader media presence gave him reason to comment loudly and provocatively. Historically, Ja Rule has used social platforms to express feelings of being undermined, mocked, or overshadowed by 50 Cent's continuous presence in hip-hop culture. In various online posts over the years, he has taken shots at 50's ticket sales, performances, and persona, sometimes with humor, other times with pointed criticism. For example, in mid-2025, Ja Rule mocked alleged low ticket sales for 50 Cent's European tour, posting footage that appeared to show packed standing areas but emptier seating sections and challenging claims that the shows were selling out. That exchange became another flashpoint, with fans and critics weighing in on both sides. In the 2025 snitching comments, Ja's rhetoric combined personal insult with broader cultural critique, tapping into hip-hop's complex relationship with authenticity and loyalty. His choice to frame 50 Cent as a snitch, a charge loaded with social stigma in rap culture, ensured that the conversation wouldn't just be about casual trolling, but would resonate with deeper questions about reputation and respect. Ja Rule's snitching and dry snitch claims one of the most provocative elements of Ja Rule's recent statements has been his use of the term dry snitch, a phrase he applied to 50 Cent in connection with Sean Combs' The Reckoning, the new Netflix documentary that 50 is closely associated with. Ja Rule took to social media to air his grievances, writing that 50 Cent, always telling on somebody, old dry snitch ass, a direct accusation tying 50's involvement with the doc to a broader narrative about betraying culture and loyalty.
Nobody, because if you're telling, you can't even look forward to going home.
It's gonna be hell.
Where you going after you get out? The neighborhood ain't accepting that. You bitch ass nigga, we heard you's a rat.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying, like that?
That's a fact.
In his tweets, Ja Rule criticized 50 Cent's motives, arguing that if 50 cared about accountability for Sean Diddy Combs' alleged misconduct, he should donate any profits from the documentary to domestic violence charities, rather than profit from telling the story. He also reminded followers that 50 Cent has had his own past domestic violence allegations, framing his comments as a broader critique of character. The term dry snitch is culturally loaded in hip-hop and street communities. It refers to someone who publicly discloses wrongdoings or associates, but not necessarily in a legal cooperation context, and is often deployed to cast doubt on someone's loyalty or credibility. Ja Rule's language intentionally evokes that stigma, pushing back against what he portrays as selective moralizing by 50 Cent. However, these claims are accusatory rather than evidentiary. There is no public legal record indicating that 50 Cent has cooperated with law enforcement in a formal informant role. The snitch label, as used here, operates more as a rhetorical device within their feud than as a verified legal allegation. Still, the phrase resonates widely because of its historical use in beefs and public disputes within hip-hop, where reputation and perceived loyalty can be as impactful as chart success in shaping public narratives. 50 Cent's taunts, fueling the feud. Responding to Ja Rule's recent social media criticisms, 50 Cent did not stay silent, instead opting to amplify the back and forth, using his platforms to mock and comment on Ja Rule's remarks in characteristic fashion. Part of this response strategy has involved targeted taunts, including playful commentary about Ja Rule's rumored street altercation in New York. In one Instagram post, 50 joked about an alleged incident, saying something along the lines of, "Ja Rule was punched all in his milk dud head. LOL," a quip that kept the spotlight on Ja's actions rather than the original documentary dispute.
2005, 2006, 2007, and 2008. I'm sure that there's...
Fall back?
Yeah, probably a lot of money that's also fees, because, you know, they charge you a lot.
What does 50 Cent think about this? Right now to the best of what do you think about this particular situation? Why are you trying to start?
You gotta pay your taxes, man. He gotta pay his taxes, man.
This tactic is consistent with 50 Cent's long-standing online persona, where he frequently uses humor, mockery, and provocative phrasing to control the narrative and keep his rival on the defensive. Over the years, 50 has repeatedly used social media to highlight perceived weaknesses or eyebrow-raising moments involving Ja Rule, ranging from ticket sale jabs to reactions to personal controversies. In the context of the 2025 feud, 50's approach underscores how social media has transformed rap beefs. Where diss tracks and radio battles once dominated, now a single post, meme, or clip can shape public perception more quickly and widely than a studio release. For 50 Cent, this means using his substantial digital following to frame Ja Rule's comments in ways that turn the tables, emphasizing amusement and ridicule rather than direct rebuttal. Importantly, 50's taunts aren't limited to a single theme. They reference rumored events, cultural memes, and past interactions that resonate with longtime fans. By doing so, he not only answers Ja Rule's current accusations, but also re-anchors the feud in its broader historical context, reminding audiences of the depth and longevity of their rivalry, legacy and impact on both careers. The feud between 50 Cent and Ja Rule is now more than 2 decades old, and its ongoing presence has had a measurable impact on how both artists are perceived in hip-hop and popular culture. Their rivalry, extending from early 2000s diss tracks to today's social media exchanges, has shaped public narratives about authenticity, rivalry, and longevity in the industry.
You said you try to get 50 and Ja Rule together at Summer Jam?
Yeah, it didn't work.
That's not gonna happen ever.
During the early 2000s, 50 Cent's breakout success with tracks like Wanksta, itself viewed as a jab at Ja Rule, helped establish him as a defining figure in hip-hop. Diss records and cultural clashes with Ja Rule and associated figures bolstered 50's visibility and carved out a distinct contrast between their respective styles and fan bases. These moments fed into a broader narrative about competition in rap, where musical and personal dynamics intersected with media attention. For Ja Rule, the feud has been a double-edged sword. While it kept him relevant in public discourse long after his commercial peak, it also repeatedly pulled focus away from his musical legacy toward personal conflicts and social media arguments. In recent years, commenters have noted how beef-related exchanges, including claims about snitching and character, often overshadow his artistic output, particularly in mainstream conversations. As for 50 Cent, his ability to stay relevant, from music to business ventures, television production, and documentaries, has been reinforced by his willingness to engage publicly with critics and rivals. Whether mocking, rebutting, or reframing moments like Ja Rule's snitching claims, 50 uses the feud as a tool for brand reinforcement and audience engagement. Ultimately, the ongoing back and forth between these two figures highlights how rap rivalries can become enduring narratives that outlive individual projects. Rather than fading away, this feud continues to generate media interest and fan discussion, functioning as a cultural touchstone that reflects broader themes of reputation, artistry, and the social dynamics of hip-hop. The fallout from Big U's courtroom confrontation is just beginning. The reactions, the legal drama, and the questions about loyalty and accountability are only starting to come to light. What was said and what wasn't could reshape how fans see this feud and the people involved. For every insider account, every development, and the full story as it unfolds, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. The next twist could change everything.